With San Francisco wrapping up their most recent game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, one of the most impressive players on the field was the rookie Upton Stout out of Western Kentucky. Throughout this game, he routinely locked up Travis Hunter, and I think he should have gotten credit for that interception, but even outside of that interception, he routinely made plays in the running game and was quick to identify routes the wide receivers are running, jump them, and then break up passes. Maybe most importantly for San Francisco's defense long term, Upton Stout looks like he's continued to develop every single time he's gotten any reps. Last week, for instance, he had that game-winning pass breakup, and this week, I think that interception could have really changed the game's momentum. So in this video, we're going to dive a little bit more deeply into San Francisco's promising rookie in Upton Stout by first examining that interception. On this play, Robert Saleh is sending the blitz with Marquis Siegel, leaving Upton Stout manned up on Travis Hunter. Meanwhile, Hunter on this play is trying to take advantage of Stout's momentum by driving him in towards the center of the field and then whipping out towards the exterior numbers. But Stout has insane change of direction, so he's able to stay in Hunter's hip pocket, and Hunter right here is pushing off just as much as Stout is making contact with him, so there's no way he should have drawn the PI right here, and he does a fantastic job of not just breaking up this pass, but attacking it. So while everyone talks about Travis Hunter's ball skills, right here, Stout is able to break on it and get the interception, which should have held up in my opinion. Another thing that really stands out about Stout's man coverage is his ability to recognize the wide receiver's routes, and he's really grown at not jumping on double moves. To really exemplify this point, on this play, he's once again manned up on Travis Hunter, with Hunter running an out pattern. And right here, Hunter tries to sell potentially like he's going to break inwards, but Stout isn't falling for it at all and knows the out is coming, and as soon as the quarterback is throwing this, he's driving on this ball and helps break up this pass. In a similar way in his zone coverage, Stout is extremely quick to recognize the offensive play, really showcasing his football IQ. Here for example, the Jacksonville Jaguars are running a wide receiver screen with Stout responsible for the flats. So as soon as the quarterback snaps the ball in this play, Stout starts to scrape over to his flat zone, reading the quarterback's eyes this entire time, and almost instantly is able to identify the wide receiver screen, so without any hesitation in his game, he's attacking this wide receiver, which allows him to get by this wide receiver's block, as well as this offensive lineman's block. And while he didn't get the tackle here, Stout's ability to recognize this wide receiver screen, shoot it without hesitation, and come up aggressively is why this went for a 1-yard loss here. To further exemplify just how smart Stout is in zone coverage, on this play, Jacksonville is attempting to attack San Francisco's defense with an RPO, trying to throw the swing pass to this back. Meanwhile, Stout on this play is responsible for the flats, so he really needs to make sure he's able to stop this play, and with the wide receiver coming directly at him, he decides to do the smart thing and get outside contained to hopefully funnel this back in towards the teeth of San Francisco's defense. And with the back cutting it back in, Stout is able to read it, uses a double hand swipe to disengage from this wide receiver's block, and then make the tackle on the back here. Stout also does a nice job of when in zone coverage of responding to the quarterback. He keeps his eyes on the quarterback the entire time, so once he does throw to an underneath pattern like right here, he's able to respond, come up, break down, and make the open field tackle. Another big reason Stout is so effective in zone coverage is just how physical of a player he is despite his smaller stature. Here, he first disrupts 17's route, which helps his defense on the back half, and then with Travis Hunter entering his zone, he stays glued to him and doesn't give him any space. In a similar way here, facing trips, Stout once again is responsible for the flats, and he tries his best to get his hands on every single wide receiver close to him to really try to help out his defense, as I was mentioning. It's not just Stout's coverage abilities though that really helps out San Francisco's defense against the pass, as he's also one of the better nickels coming on the blitz. Across the entire NFL currently right now, for instance, he ranks second among all cornerbacks with 3 pressures. As great as Stout is against the pass, equally as important for his long-term success at the nickel cornerback position is his ability to stuff the run. And like his pass coverage, we've seen tons of improvement from week 1 to week 2, week 2 to week 3, and now week 3 to week 4. Specifically, when you turn on Stout's tape, it doesn't look like he's hesitating as much as he did week 1, and he's much more quick to actually identify the play. And once he is able to identify the running play, he can take on wide receivers' blocks and make open field tackles much more frequently. Maybe the best play to really exemplify Stout's growth in this aspect of his game is here, where he's almost playing like an elite linebacker. He takes his read step, and reading the tackle, he knows that outside run is coming. So with no hesitation, he shoots the outside shoulder of this wide receiver and is able to get outside contained, and right here, it looks like a pretty obvious hold to me as he's brought all the way to the ground. And in a similar way to his pass coverage, Stout is pretty great when being sent on the blitz against the run because he's lightning quick and he's often able to get just enough of the back to make a difference. To really exemplify this point, on this play, Saleh is sending Stout on the blitz with Jacksonville running the inside run. But Stout knows the run is coming because of his film study, situation, and the offensive formation. And you can really see that by the way he's starting to cheat with this quarterback's cadence and this tight end's motion. And because he's able to recognize this play as soon as the ball is snapped, he's shooting inwards towards this run that beats 17's block and is able to get enough at 33 to really slow him down on this play and forces a 1-yard loss. I know he didn't make the tackle here, but if not for Stout, this probably would have been a first down. With all these positives to Stout's game, he is a third-round rookie out of Western Kentucky, so he definitely has some areas of concern, with probably the most notable in my opinion being his overall size. He's only 5'8", weighing 182, so he's pretty small. This means wide receivers and tight ends can occasionally drive him down the field, and when targeted, they can also go up and outcompete him with the ball in the air because of his overall size. Stout also struggles to disengage with wide receivers and tight ends blocks at times, so headed forward, he needs to do a better job of keeping his hands active. It's also worth noting, while Stout's aggression is great at making plays for San Francisco's defense, at times it can be a hindrance to his game as he'll fall for a double move or his angle will be off when pursuing a back. Finally, Stout just needs to prove he can remain healthy at the NFL level, as he missed the entire preseason and he also missed time at the collegiate level. But overall, if Stout is able to remain healthy, I think he's going to be a truly dominant nickelback for San Francisco's defense. He may not have ideal size for all teams, but we've seen players like Jason Brett, Quan Williams, and smaller defensive backs have a ton of success in Robert Saleh's defense. But ultimately, these are just some of my thoughts on San Francisco's third-round selection out of Western Kentucky and Upton Stout, and I want to hear your thoughts about the 5'8", 180-pound nickelback and what you're expecting for him headed forward. Do you think he's going to develop into a dominant nickelback like I do? Or do you think his overall size and injuries will really hamper his development? And if you did enjoy this video, it would really mean a ton to me if you could go ahead and like and subscribe. It truly helps out the channel a ton. And as always, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.